Welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. We're getting you ready for the biggest game of the season, the AFC East crown on the line in Foxborough this Sunday. We know Cole Beasley will not be playing. Now, let's not talk about everything else. Let's talk about the fact that he will not be on the field and what that means for Buffalo, Mike, and what we should expect to see from them this weekend.
Yeah, they've got to figure out a way to get production from that spot without Beasley. You know, if it was an injury, and in this case it's COVID, when the game starts, he's not there. So somebody's got to do it. I think the easy call is to give Isaiah McKenzie a lot of those snaps. We saw what he did in Miami last year when he had that chance. It's a little different against the Patriots, I think. But I do think at least with McKenzie, you have a guy who has been there and done that. I like him on the field. I think he adds to the offense when he's out there. And that's usually in limited snaps. I think he can do that. Now, that being said, Dan, there's also other ways to make up for it. It's not like Isaiah McKenzie is Cole Beasley in the slot. So I think there's other ways they can find guys to make a few more plays to make up for it.
Sure, the concerning thing is not only having Beasley's like veteran leadership in this, massive game, it's also just the fact of they have found rhythm with an offensive line that has been suspect at best the last few weeks, and Cole has always been that safety blanket. And we found Josh a lot of success on quick throws. So now going off of that, who is that short yardage to intermediate range guy?
Yeah.
I saw Dawson Knox kind of step up in that category. So I last week against Carolina. So I don't know if Isaiah McKenzie is shifty enough. He's quick enough. I don't know if he's shifty enough in that kind of role of the route running, but this is going to be an all hands on deck. I wouldn't be surprised if they dress 6 wide receivers, if they bring up Jake Kumro and get him more snaps, or if they bring up Tanner Gentry out of the practice squad, like to bring in more and more guys to kind of throw a wrinkle. I know this is a bad way to throw a curveball at Bill Belichick, but without Cole Beasley now, they have to plan for other things, and maybe the Bills and Brian Daboll can throw something at Bill that they're not preparing for.
How tough is it though, Mike? Because Beasley, while he's had a quieter, smaller role in some points of the season this year, he's just been a reliable guy. And especially going in Foxborough, we know it's going to be a hostile environment. How much does that just change things? Because you don't have someone who has, obviously Isaiah McKenzie has that experience, but at the same point, it's not to that level that Cole Beasley has.
Yeah, I mean, Beasley is tough too. I mean, he is. On the field, he's tough. He makes tough catches. He's a smart football player. So that's hard to replace. But yeah, I think they try to find it in other ways. And look, Dan's making one point. Maybe you go more wide receivers. Maybe they go a little bigger and stronger offensively. Another offensive lineman on the field. I got to say, New England plays them that way. You got to balance. You don't want to get away from what you do well, which is, as we've talked about, throw the ball, Josh on the move and all. But you've got to protect Josh. You've got to make sure whether it's run plays or he's looking for Diggs or he's looking for Dawson Knox, that he's got that. So, what they decide to do, the packages they decide to bring, extra O-lineman. Number 71 is, eligible on this play, playing with Gillum in the backfield to give an extra blocker. I think it's going to be that kind of game again. So that part to me will be interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of things Beasley brings. It's been all clouded by the whole COVID thing.
Yep.
But there's a lot of things he brings to this team. Yes, they will be missing. Somebody's got to pick up for it.
It's Sanders too. It's Sanders coming back from a knee sprain. Just the roller coaster of emotions that he's been going through. Jordan Poyer said that he just got back for this past weekend because he was at Demaryius Thomas's funeral, one of his really close friends that passed away. But I think 75% you need Sanders out there, even at that percent. Like this is, again, we talked about with Josh with his foot the week before. Well, would you rest him? I don't think there's time to rest Sanders here. You hope that Beasley only misses the 10 days and he comes back. But this just seems like a game where you're going to need to try and spread them out and do what you do best. I know that, yes, I can acknowledge that Devin Singletary ran the ball efficiently. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind to it. But Carolina is a lot different of a monster than the New England Patriots and their front seven.
Yeah, I do think Carolina is at least a little bit of preparation. They're a little smaller and a little certainly fast.
Correct.
They're that way. But they're a pretty good defense. I mean, it's not like they're a bad defense.
Well, they had the most overrated, dumbest stat, number one passing defense in the entire league, which is the dumbest thing.
How do you
Just saying.
feel? How do you feel about that, Dan?
Just saying, nobody has to pass on them because they're behind in their last dozen games. But anyway, go on.
No, I mean, it's interesting. We got to hear from the players on Wednesday, Josh Allen, Jordan Poyer, and Dan, everyone. It's all about execution. And how many times did we hear Josh Allen say execute?
I'm trying to go back through the clips now. I think we're gonna hit double digits.
Oh, easily double digits.
Figure out what we can do to best execute that game plan on Sunday. And like I said, just try to go execute a game plan and give us a chance to win a game. So again, we're just trying to go out there and have a good week of practice and execute on Sunday. We got to be prepared and be ready to go execute. And again, and that's to go out and execute and try to win a game on Sunday against do our job and go out and try to execute a game plan. Let's go out there and execute on Sunday. We try to set that aside as much as possible and just try to focus in and hone in on executing a game plan. It's executing game plan. It's just go out there and try to execute the best we can. So whoever that may be, we got to go out there and guys got to step up and we got to execute.
And it's also the fact, guys, it's what he wants for Christmas. He wants to execute on Sunday.
Yeah. I said, I tweeted out, I'm going to tell my family for Christmas this year, I want us all to execute the plan.
What's that?
I mean, he can get, he's a quick decision maker on the field, first project, what he's looking for, right? Progressions, 1, 2, 3. He can get to the word execute. When you can get to the word execute, when you're asked what you want for Christmas, that is an elite skill that Josh has.
We've talked on this YouTube channel. We all have our crutch words that we all say. For me, for the longest time, it was, that's interesting. And then I would get into my point. Josh finishes every sentence with, and we need to go out there and execute.
He does. It really is something to see. And we know they need to do that. But is it his most notable cliche? Jenna, I know you have another favorite.
My least favorite, sorry, I was having microphone issues. My least favorite is they get paid on that side of the ball too, referring to the other team, because it's just it's just a cop out also. Like after they come off the field and they have a tough loss, it's like, well, they get paid on that side of the ball too. It's like, yeah, but you're supposed to be better. You're supposed to execute better. You're supposed to be the better team and you didn't. And that's your excuse. So it's an excuse and it pisses me off if I'm being honest. But also, no,
as if we didn't think they got paid, as if the other team was playing for fun.
Yeah, what is this, the replacements? Like what? No, this is an NFL team on the sidelines because it's an NFL game. But yeah, Josh loves to throw around the execution. We asked Stephon Diggs, like, what does that even mean a couple weeks ago? And they talked about the preparation and all that. But Mike, I thought it was funny because I felt like this team kind of admitted that this is a huge game.
Yeah.
But then also was like, well, it's the next game.
Yeah, that's a lie. We know it is. And look, I have a feeling that the Bills would be in the Super Bowl and talking about it's just the next game. I understand the process for a player, right? They're saying is we got to get ready and you got to do what you got to do. That part is all true. I tried to ask them about atmosphere. Like you're stepping on that field in Foxborough. We've all seen it. 20 years. Last year, we didn't see it because there was no crowd. And you can make all the jokes you want about when Patriots fans showed up. When you know what that place is going to look like on Sunday. And they're used to winning those games with that crowd. And you walk in there. And what I respect so much about Brady and even Julian Edelman, who I know is a guy Bills fans hated, and even Gronk, man, when they came into Orchard Park, they fed off the crowd. Mm-hmm. They loved it. They loved shutting everybody up. And they did it multiple times. And I do believe they feed off of that. Poyer gave us a little bit of that. I do believe that. And they should, right? Because that crowd is against you. And who was it? Was it Diggs that said, when it's so loud, it's almost quiet? I get that part. That part to me goes to the executing, staying in the moment.
Yeah.
But come on, you walk out on that field and they're all booing you. The Bills have gotten to the point they deserve to be booed, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, they're playing the Jets. They don't care. The fans don't care.
They don't
the
boo
Bills
nobodies.
are good enough to be booed.
Correct. They don't boo nobodies. And the fact of, I think Jordan Poyer said that he loved playing in away games. He loves that hostile environment. He likes to bottle that emotion and that energy up. Yeah. And I think they have to play with that.
Dan,
now,
I was just going to interrupt you real quick because you were there, Kansas City. They kept telling us it's another game. And that game is what, in October? But man, you saw them after that game. You saw them leaving the field. It's okay to appreciate that this is a massive game for them. As long as you understand, winning it doesn't settle anything, losing it doesn't end anything.
right.
But it's huge. It is. So, we know it.
Right. But they played it off back in week 5 that it was just another game and all that stuff. And then Josh Allen throws a late touchdown and comes by the cameras and goes, bye. Yeah. And goes bye to all the fans. Like, yeah,
good.
just because, no, I love that. Again, it's just the honesty they're getting. And Jordan Poyer was honest too about his answer, Mike, to your point, just saying like, it's so, you can have the tendency of getting caught up in things and saying, well, if we win this game, then we get this. If you lose this game, it's that. That to some respects they can't focus on, but it's the fact of bringing yourself to the level of the occasion and the level of the moment. This isn't, you kind of, savor the moment, kind of these kind of things. They've all said it. It's nice to play meaningful games in December. It's a lot nicer to win the meaningful games in December than just be in them. Like, this isn't, again, the other guys get paid too. It's the scoreboard matters, all of those things.
Yeah. I will say, like, Dan, we were talking about this before, and I asked Mike this, but do you think it's better or worse for this Bills team knowing that this game is for the AFC East title? Like, do you think that's better?
Yeah. Because I just don't think there's no sugarcoating what this game means. Right. We're not making this a narrative. We're not making like in Kansas City, even though it was us being like, is this the comeback? And they were like, this is week 6 or week 5. And like, we kind of understood that to a sense. We knew that winning or losing in Kansas City wasn't going to decide the season. Winning or losing in Foxborough really kind of does. And that's not us saying it. That's the world. That's what the standings, that's what the schedule, that's what the NFL is telling us.
Yeah, because if New England wins, they win the division, right? Because they would be 2 games up. They would have swept. They can't lose the division. So it's very simple. It's a hat and T-shirt game for New England, and it's not for the Bills. And in reality, and I think all Bills fans know this, if the Bills win, they control their own destiny. But all that means is they don't need somebody else to lose. They got to beat Atlanta, beat the Jets. They're AFC East champs. New England cannot catch them. The difference is if New England wins, the Bills can't catch New England no matter if they lose the last 2 because they will still have swept them, and the best they can be is a tie. So, yes, we all know what this game means. We all know what the atmosphere is going to be. Go out and prove it. That's what I say.
Yeah. No, I think it's so fitting, I feel like, Mike, that it comes down to New England. Like, I feel like it's always been the thorn in the Bills' side. And for a long time, it's been not even a question who would win these games. But I feel like it's just like poetic that it's this Patriots team.
You know what I like about it? You're right. When you say it's been the thorn in the side, it was like they're the thorn in your side. They aren't even paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Dan knows this. She's the girl in the lunchroom that you can't even get her to look at you, let alone dismiss you. That's
why do I know that? Hang on, hold on.
No,
that was
because it's you and me. I'm saying is we know it.
Oh, they're like Dan's the
That's all
ugly
I
kid.
meant.
I guess Steven Glansberg eating yogurt.
Dan, unfortunately for you and me, Jenna is that girl.
Oh, right.
And she was that way, and she had him, and she was like,
no.
Jenna wouldn't even look at us. God.
Right. But here's
too busy eating.
Well, that is true. But what I'm saying is they weren't even there with them. And it's been a weird dynamic. Yeah. If you think about it, go back to 2 years ago. That was the last time they played a meaningful game in Foxborough with the fans. New England had the lead in the division, and the Bills had a shot. Josh made a few plays, great plays, and they took the lead. You remember he hit John Brown. He made that play. And
beat Stephon Gilmore.
And they had the lead, and Brady played great. And it was like, okay, they didn't get there, but that team made the playoffs. And it was like, to me, that was the first time legitimately the Bills have been on the Patriots' radar. Then last year, they dominated them, blew them out. Great. Now we're back to even. And right now, there's close to even. They are actual rivals now to both sides. There's respect both ways. No doubt about it. I like that.
Yeah. No, I do too. It's an interesting spot, I feel like, for the Bills, Dan. Not interesting, but it's like you've worked so hard to get to this point, to be as talented as you are. I think we all just thought that this Patriots team was going to be behind. Like, I thought it would take way longer for them to get to where they are.
Don't you remember, guys? I crowned the Bills division champs, I believe, in September.
That
was another
hot
about
about that.
It's October.
So it's your fault.
Yeah. Hot takes have been hot this year for me. They have been hot. But yeah, this is a team that, again, you look after week 6, the Bills go and beat Kansas City. The Patriots are 2-4 after a loss, I believe, to Tampa Bay. And it just seemed like everything was a foregone conclusion. Bills have struggled. They have had, a shuffling offensive line that hasn't played up to par. And the two teams have kind of gone in different directions, where the Patriots, for the most part, have been consistent. And as we've said multiple times in this channel, the Bills have been consistently inconsistent.
Yeah. Jenna, I will say one thing for Bills fans. Keep this in mind. I think winning would be massive for them. I think winning the division gives them an outstanding opportunity, because even though Kansas City's been really good, and they have been, get into the playoffs and let's see. Yeah. It is wide open in the AFC. Yep. Wide open. Yes. The only team you trust to whatever level, I think, is Kansas City, because they've been there and done it. It's Andy Reid. It's Mahomes. You don't trust New England just because it's Mac Jones. I mean, even New England fans will tell you that. You don't trust the Bills because they've been inconsistent. Everybody, I mean, Cincinnati's now leading the North. Like, this is where we are right now. So it's wide open, even if you make it as a wild card. But, man, you win the division. Maybe you're the, 2 seed, 3 seed. You get a home game. Yeah. Way different narrative going forward.
Control the destiny. That's what the Bills need to do. And all right, we're going to wrap up here. We're going to have our special show tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll be live on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, as well as the 13 Wham Facebook page. For Mike Catalana and Dan Fates, I'm Jenna Cottrell. Thanks for watching the Buffalo Plus channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.